First, whoops, says my connection is unstable.
We can still hear you though.
I'm still here. The first item of business, it might actually be in the wrong category, but to review the NCOD website, or at least figure out what's going on with that.
Yep, I can pull it up so we can take a look together.
Yep, we still need to add Karen. It still shows we have a vacancy.
Yeah, I have a training on
Well, we
Friday.
are going to have a vacancy.
Right. But we do need to add Karen. It's got, yeah, Corinne on there now. So.
Okay, so town government, boards and committees, all committees, and Commission on Disabilities. So this is what it looks like now.
I'll be right back. Wait, I need glasses.
So the one that we need to update is the vacancy for Karen. And effective May 1st, Carol will, well, effective May meeting, I guess, Carol will become co-chair, and we'll have a new vacancy on the website. So I have a training on how to update, and I'll have to ask because I'm not sure if I still have access to update this page. But if I can, then I'll make that update.
Okay.
But since we are going down this path in the town as a whole to sort of, you know, spiff up our websites, you know, I wanted to get your take or your ideas or suggestions on how to make this more user friendly, you know, maybe put more information in here, any other suggestions. So right now it lists when we meet. I am the main contact right now, and just the general purpose of our commission. It talks about the grants and a link to the grant application. It talked about 911, which I think this information might be a little outdated now.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that. And then we have the state loan modification program and additional resources, which is just a document that we put together, I think, a couple of years ago, which lists all of the different resources that we are aware of that may benefit the disabled community in Needham.
Can we take a look at what that is right now?
Sure. Can you guys still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so is and I'm forgetting now how we came up with this list, but I think everyone sent me what they knew for resources, and I just compiled them into one document. So there's Mass Match, there is the Roxbury Mass Rehab Commission, the New England ADA Center, obviously. These are some, I think we put this together also for like during the pandemic. We wanted to like see what else we could offer people that were sort of like, you know, that were having issues getting to maybe their usual place of education or usual place of you know, distraction, entertainment. So we wanted to like ask them, you know, like put together a list of things that they could do. The Perkins Library, the National Black Disability Coalition, and the Spalding Rehabilitation, just all the programs that they were offering at that time that you could do online or in person. But, you know, there's certainly, you know, space for beefing this up or making this maybe even more accessible, like putting these things right on the website. So when you come into the website, maybe you can, you know, go to the left and maybe add here a menu for resources. And then we'll create a new page for those resources. That was one of the things I thought about. But, you know, we really don't have like menu items right now. It's mostly like general information about the commission. So again, just thought that we could brainstorm some of the ways to make it more user-friendly or more informational. Any thoughts?
Well, is there going to be a process for the town? I mean, because it should look the same as all the other commission websites.
Well,
is there-
no, so every commission and every department is being tasked with, revamping their own website because we're trying to revamp the entire website and just to make sure that
Right.
we're maintaining our information that is current, that is helpful. So there's no set,
But there would be
standard.
but there would be a template, right? They would all need to look the same, right?
No,
no?
I mean, no, I don't think, I haven't been told that necessarily. Like I said, I
Okay.
do have a meeting on Friday,
Mhm.
where we're gonna learn, like, some of the tips and tricks and
Yeah.
and a refresher on how to update websites.
Mhm.
But I haven't been told that they have to be uniform in any way. I think,
Okay.
and I'm not really talking about the look of it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like just talking about content. If anyone has like,
Okay.
suggestions about content, yes. Babs?
I do. How about like putting in highlights what happened the year before?
Highlights, like maybe
Yeah.
pull them from the annual report.
I think that's a
Yeah.
great idea. Yep. And then is advocacy in here anywhere? Like, I don't know that it is. So maybe
No.
we could highlight, if you need help, sort of, or maybe that's in the resources. I don't know, but it might be good
So,
to highlight that.
Yeah, so I wouldn't mind doing that as long as we're clear about the type of help that we can provide,
Right,
because,
yeah,
we just don't
agree.
want to get into that whole legal situation where people think that
Right.
we can actually like do things. We lost Jeannie.
Oh, no, we need her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do need her.
do
Jeannie, are you
indeed.
here?
I have
Sorry,
Debbie.
links
lost
I'd like
my
to add on
connection.
housing too.
Yeah, it looks like here she's coming back.
Tatiana,
Yes.
I have some links on housing too that I'd like to add to that page.
Yeah, would you mind? Could you send them to me?
Sure.
Sorry, I got disconnected for some reason. What did I miss?
Oh, I don't know when we lost you. I was talking about.
Babs was talking about adding, what were you talking about, Babs? Sorry.
Welcome to my world.
Oh, we can't hear
Highlights,
Babs.
highlights, you can't see me?
We can see you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you, highlights of what we did the year
Can
before.
anyone hear Babs?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Well,
can hear
that would-
Babs.
I don't know why you can't see me.
We
Oh, I
can hear you and see
I
you.
hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't hear anybody.
Uh-oh.
Who's saying that?
Highlights of what we did the year before, like what the grant that we
Yep.
Well,
put
that
out.
would, that's in the town report, the annual town report.
Right, so that's what she's saying, that maybe we can feature them on our page.
Oh,
Some of the
extract them
highlights.
from the town report and put them on.
Yeah,
our-
I can pull them from the town report and feature them
Okay.
on our page.
We
As
can
I'm-
be
as I'm-
you can be selective about it. I mean, we don't
Right.
want to put in that CVS or
Eh.
Dunkin' Donuts with the parking issue.
Right.
Debbie,
Hi, Debbie.
who's gonna make the selections then?
You pick.
I was thinking like the school, the grant, maybe just do the grants that we gave out, like to the schools. That would be a form of advertising that we give out grants.
Like you want to add like the grants that we have awarded in the past?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that
Just-
might give people some ideas. Yep.
In the past year, or you mean for past several years?
Just 1 year before, and then you can change it every year.
Well, I think we've only,
Yeah.
we haven't really awarded that much. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I think in 1 year we got 2 requests, which was great.
Was that
Um,
last year or the year before?
I want to say that was the year before, but we
I
could
think it
still
was the year
list them as
Yeah.
as ideas for people to get inspiration. Like
Yeah, we could
Carol
just call them recent grants. We don't have to like specify the time period.
said. I
And then
like
just
that.
yeah, and then just highlight the ones we want to showcase.
I like that idea.
Yep.
Teamwork.
So, okay, so we had
Yeah.
suggested, maybe having some space over here. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, have some menu items over here.
Mhm.
That like additional resources in which we'll take this Word document that lists them and just put them onto his own page so people can reach them quicker. Corinne, if you're gonna send me links for housing, can you also just give me a little blurb of what they are? Just so
Okay.
that I can add it. And then
Okay.
Carol suggested we include something about advocacy, but just with the caveat that we are very clear about what can the commission do for people.
Yeah, and Debbie's trying to say something. I don't know if
Go
she
ahead,
can.
Debbie.
She's figuring out what item is on the agenda you're discussing.
We're reviewing the NCOD website. And so it's up on the screen so we can look at it and make some suggestions for what needs to be added or changed.
Yeah. You know, I know we've disabled the chat in here. I don't know if she's able to type things, but if that would be helpful to her, I don't know if we could check with her.
No.
No, okay. Because I know in the past she's emailed me topics that I can bring up. So I just want to make sure we we enable her to participate as much as possible.
Yeah. I'll have to contact my ITC too. I think all of the chat functions for Zoom have been disabled, but I can ask them to open them up for my meetings.
Yeah, it was just a thought. I don't know if that would help or not. I thought you
No,
said
that's a great thought for sure. Yeah.
Tatiana, currently there's a picture of Memorial Park at the top of our page. Is that
Yeah,
for everyone's page, or do we have the option of adding our own picture?
No.
You don't.
That's the sign.
do
No,
you
that's
like that picture? Do you like that picture? I think
actually-
it's awful.
that actually comes up in I think no matter where you go.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think that's just limited to the Commission on Disabilities. I think if you
Well, maybe that should be some feedback. We should be able to have our own picture.
you guys don't like that picture.
Can we add?
No,
Can
Well,
we
they
add?
wanted input, so that's our input.
no.
Can we add photos somewhere else on our page?
Yes, I'm sure it's
That's a good idea.
able, because if you look at other committees, I'm just gonna do like the Park and Recreation.
Yep.
They do have a picture of their staff or their board rather.
Yeah.
So we can add pictures. That shouldn't be a problem. It's probably within the body of our page rather than the town's design.
Yeah.
But I will let someone know that this pleases you.
Well, some of the
Kind of
photos,
depressing.
maybe some of the photos from our brochure where we show
Mhm.
buildings that we've made accessible or playgrounds that have been
Yeah.
made accessible. I think those would be interesting to have on our website, our
Even-
webpage.
Even Andy going up the ramp in with the library, that's an iconic picture.
Let me see. I have a bunch of pictures for the brochure. Pics for brochure. So we had. I'm sure I have more because we used a bunch. Oh, I can't open this. It's corrupted. I don't know why. But we had a picture of the large print. The large print books. Can you guys still see my screen?
Yeah.
We see you,
Well,
Not my screen.
And your screen, yeah, we can see your screen. Yeah.
and Corinne.
we're on the all
Uh,
committees page.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're not seeing what I'm showing. I was showing the pictures from the brochure. So, okay, that's fine. But yeah, so we can certainly do pictures, and I can find what the ones that we use for the brochure. Maybe we can upload the brochure electronically as well. That's a good idea, actually.
Yes, that's a very good idea.
It is a good idea. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, we're hot tonight.
Yeah. Contact ITC on change picture. Yep. Anything else?
No, I can't.
You
think of
you
any.
guys can keep emailing me ideas.
Yeah.
If anything comes up after this that we haven't thought about yet.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So that's it. That's it for the website, I guess.
Okay.
That was good.
We'll come back to, I'm sorry, that should have been under ADA coordinator, but we'll continue on with the rest of the chairperson's report.
Mhm.
And Carol had suggested when we were talking a few weeks ago that it might be helpful for our new members to have an orientation to go over all sorts of things about the commission. And we didn't know whether that was something that you, well, I guess it's just Felix and Alexa here today, but for Karen as well, whether this would be of interest to you and whether we should try and do it at a meeting or at a separate time where we just go over, actually, I don't have, Carol came up with a list of things
Yeah.
that might be interesting. But
I
just
can rattle
general
them off if you
feedback
want.
from
Yep.
Felix and Alexa, would that be helpful to?
Yeah, it was things
go
like the
into a
history.
little more detail, like the history of how we got started, when we got started, you know,
The-
what kind of bylaws we operate under.
the meeting process, the decision-making process,
I think a lot
information
of the
about,
historical and that stuff would be really helpful.
yeah,
Yeah.
The process stuff, it's fairly standard across the board
Right.
for me, but for others, I think it would be very helpful. But I
Yeah.
think the history and all of that would be very helpful for me as well.
yeah. And there's a lot of information about the Massachusetts Office on Disability and sort of their role in advising the municipal CODs. There's, a COD bylaw review. So I could send, a draft agenda and would love to get your input on what things, would be most meaningful. And, it's a small enough group that I think we could customize it. We have sort of a list of topics. You could give us some feedback on what things you think would be most helpful and then add your own. I'm sort of thinking it's a separate, maybe a separate 1 hour Zoom session is what I'm thinking.
Mhm.
I wouldn't mind in participating in as a refresher.
I think
Right.
it's good for all of us, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So potentially we could add it into a meeting. Maybe if we had sort of a lighter agenda, we could just take, some time to do that. I think it would be, depending on the topics, 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how much discussion and topics there were. So.
Yeah, I think it's also worth maybe, if we're gonna do it as a separate one, try to bring in like Teddy or the town's attorney to also double it as a open meeting law training so that they can check that box for their purposes, because they have to do training on boards every so often. So this could help them check that box as well if we did it as a separate day.
I don't quite understand what you're saying.
I'm saying if we do this as a separate 1 hour meeting, maybe we could turn it into a 3 hour meeting and have our lawyers or the town clerk do
Our-
a training
Yeah, our town
on
attorneys
open
do
meeting
not,
law.
our town attorneys do not do trainings. Teddy, we could probably pull in for an overview, but I don't see the town attorneys.
All right. Well,
It-
let me.
Yeah, it's every town does it differently, but I know that they all like to have this training for open meeting law every X number of years, just
Okay.
with all the different boards.
Well, let me start by just sending this draft agenda, and a potential list of topics, and maybe the three of you, the whole committee actually can give some input in terms of, what would be good to spend some time on, and then we don't need to spend time on things that you already know, and we could add any
Mhm.
topics that you have, if that sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah, and I believe
And-
we're allowed to have those communications outside the public meeting because it's regarding setting up an agenda for a public meeting.
I actually have the open meeting law guide that I could share with everyone if you're interested.
Yeah. Is that
Um,
online, Corinne?
Yeah, remember you had paid, right, for me to, is that the one you paid for me to attend?
Yeah.
Yeah, I downloaded it and I have it on my share. Let me see how many pages. It's 24 pages
Oh, yeah.
from the
That'd be
Office of
great.
Attorney General, Maura Healy.
It's good.
Um,
Good idea.
Does it
All right.
make,
So
does it make sense to do this on a different Tuesday of the month? is Tuesday in general a good night for everyone?
Yes.
You know, I know other
Yes.
boards do orientations, and if we just took an hour, I think we could, have some good discussion.
Okay, so we won't set a date yet. We'll first send out the list that you have, Carol, and we'll
Mhm.
see how long it's gonna take us to pull it together, but hopefully before our next meeting, we can do it. Is that reasonable?
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, once you guys have a date, I can check with Teddy to see if she's available to participate.
Yeah, that would be nice to have her make a cameo.
I did share this folder with you guys. I don't know if you know where it is in your drive. If you have
Here
Google
somewhere.
Drive. I'll send it again.
Next on the agenda is establishing an NCOD roster, which we have done from time to time, but really haven't done it in several years. So what I would like to put together is, and it's just to be circulated among ourselves, it goes nowhere else. Your contact information, your home address, phone number, should we need to reach each other. And if you don't have objections, I'd love for you to just send that to me in an email, and then I'll put together a roster that then we can distribute it. But again, it's just for our use. It's not going to go out to the town or to anyone else.
So that's address, email, and phone number?
Yes. Is everyone okay with that?
Yes.
I am,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great.
Mine is public.
Yes.
So.
What'd you say?
Kelly's and I is public, and Corinne, so.
Yeah.
Okay, we're ready for the minutes then. Unless Corinne, did you have anything else for under chairperson's report?
No, I'm good. Thank you for asking.
Carol?
Okay. Yep. So we're no longer reading the minutes. I sent them out. Did anybody have any corrections for me or feedback or changes?
I did not.
Nope.
Okay.
And we have a
Um,
motion.
We have a motion to accept the minutes as written.
So moved.
And did I hear a second?
I second it.
Okay, all those who support this,
I,
opposed?
I
That was
I
quick and
support it.
easy.
Yep.
Excellent.
You know, that's a good question. If you motion to approve, can you actually then vote against it?
No, you can't under Robert's rules.
We'll ask
But
Teddy.
my finger was too slow at coming off of mute.
No take backs, no backsies.
Okay, back to you, Tatiana.
Okay, so I don't have a lot of updates, but I do have a couple of things for all of us to think about. So first off is we had way before in the fall had tried to put together something in the spring for the former NCOD members that have left us.
yeah.
We our former member Elaine Sanders was a member of the NCOD for 29 years. And because she retired during the pandemic, we weren't able to really do anything to honor her time within NCOD. We did get her a plaque in Braille, and we also, happened to also lose two other members, Dale Wise and Manny Iyer. And we had received, voted on and received approval to purchase plaques to commemorate their time with NCOD, which, I'm going to start working on, but I kind of wanted to see if we could come up with a date or something or some plan for a get together to, celebrate the former members. We said that we will discuss it as the weather got better. So I just kind of want to start that conversation.
Is the weather better?
Well,
Getting there.
I would like to do it before Corinne leaves too. I mean,
right. So
Yeah.
we're now up to 4 people.
Yes.
That
Include
are
her.
leaving.
Yeah.
So Corinne's last meeting is in April, so that's why I figure we should at least maybe start thinking about a date and a plan. And you know, we can internally, Jeannie and I or Carol and I can coordinate details, but at least get a date and a plan going for that.
I'd be happy to be on the committee too.
And wow, so you already had you in there.
Oh, okay.
Barbara's our social.
Welcome to
butterfly.
pandemic fog. Oy.
That's right. That's right. This is well, this is our out of pandemic celebration. Well, hopefully I shouldn't say that too loud, but
Are people
This is-
comfortable meeting indoors now or not?
so that I think that was the general idea that we
Yeah, I
we
know.
wanted good weather so we can try to be outside. And of course, this is New England. It'll always be unpredictable, but at least we can maybe nail down a date for May or something.
Corinne, when are
Have
you
any idea
leaving?
when you might be leaving?
I don't know.
Do you think you'll be here mid-May?
There's a possibility, but I could also come up to visit.
Oh, well,
What if you plan it for the beginning of May?
I think
You know.
that's when they have the town retirement or the Needham Public Schools retirement parties in May too.
All right, so why don't we try the beginning of May outdoors? Would you want to do it in front of town hall or do you want to do it at one of the playgrounds or?
I think by then the tent might be back up. Yes, Kelly?
I have a suggestion. At the senior center, the CAF, we can plan it for outside on that second floor patio with the umbrellas and
That's
tables.
brilliant.
Pretty.
Yeah,
And if it rains, we can just grab a room.
that's excellent, I think.
Yeah,
All right, we'll plan for C.
it's beautiful up there.
Yeah, I've never been up
There's
there.
umbrellas and there's an elevator,
Right.
double doors. Yeah,
Accessible, yeah.
I think that'd be great.
Can we talk about some dates?
Yes, we should do that.
I don't have the calendar in front of me.
Cool.
I think I'm pretty open. Would you want to do it like around dinner time? Is that what you're thinking?
How have these been used? I've only been at one and we did it at night, like, well, after 5. So yeah, I'm guessing that might be better time
So-
for everyone.
So we could meet like at around supper time and maybe have it catered?
I'm
Debbie's
not
trying to say
sure
something.
of the senior center's hours, if they're going to change in May, so that'd be something, if you plan on having it there. I do know as of now, they close at 5. So,
Well,
Okay.
I can probably call in a favor.
oh yeah, I'm
Well,
sure.
so for me, Tuesdays actually
I'm
are,
texting Jesse now.
well,
Yeah,
so I was
actually-
gonna say that I
Yeah.
typically have a hard stop at 6:30 on Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays, okay.
So
Well-
if we could do it before 5, that would be better.
Well, we could do like an early supper and start like at 4.
We could do like a high tea.
Yeah.
High tea.
Pinkies up.
Yeah, you know, I don't think that's a bad idea. We could start at 4 and, you know,
Mhm.
and so it's not, yeah. And I'm sorry, Babs actually has the most influence in that. She can call in a favor.
Yeah. I'm calling it, I'm texting her now. Keep talking, it's gonna take me forever. I'm so
All
sorry.
right.
so
Okay,
is-
so we'll plan for that and we're saying, so is May 3rd a good date then?
Is
Okay,
that,
for May,
what
May
day,
3rd?
what day of the week is that?
It's a Tuesday.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
Anybody?
I actually, you know what? If it's May 30th on a Tuesday, I can't. There's a 6-week period where I actually teach from 6:30 till 9 on
It's-
Tuesdays and Thursdays at BU.
It's
So
May
that
3rd.
still happens to be, oh, May 3rd?
May 3rd,
Yeah.
yep.
Oh, May 3rd I can do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay,
It
Right.
starts late May for me.
yeah, so
a-
we can
I have
do
a
May
meeting
3rd.
at 4 o'clock that day, but I could join by 5.
Okay. Great. All right. So we'll plan for that. And between Babs and I will try to secure the CAD for that meeting. And so hopefully, you know, I'll get to work on the plaques and everything so we can have those ready for
Mhm.
the members. Now, is anyone in touch with Dale or Manny?
No, but we need to make sure that they can come.
Right. So I will do that. Hopefully, they're still using their same email addresses, and I will do that and make sure that they're available. And as well as Elaine, because
Right,
we never gave her a farewell,
right.
a send off. Okay, cool. All right. So we'll plan on that. Thank you.
I'm waiting to hear.
You're waiting to hear. Okay. Next up is the update on the at-home test kits. So as I mentioned before, the health department had a plan to distribute at-home testing kits pending whatever was left after staff, in the school department. And so they had about 180 tests sent to housing and 90 to the community council. They did inquire last week if we had a plan on identifying people that could be a direct recipient, but we had gone back and forth about how we don't have a directory in hand. We kind of have to leave it up to the individual to self-identify and come up to the council, the community council, the housing authority, the council, the Center at the Heights, to request those. So, but there is a distribution of at-home COVID testing kits, and that was fully funded by the town's funding. So they did not need to use ours. So unless anyone has, another suggestion as to where else we can offer these test kits, these obviously became less of a priority after the Omicron burst and after the government was, sending them to people directly, if they signed up for them. And now I walk into a Walgreens and they have 150 on the wall. So
Excuse me.
bless you. It kind of lost steam, the need for these testing. So just wanted to give that update. If anybody else has any other
Excuse me,
suggestions
sorry.
as to
God bless you.
bless you.
Mm.
If anybody else has other suggestions as to how we can better reach the disabled community, I'm happy to pass those along.
What about the, what we discussed in emails, having them delivered to the Meals on Wheels, the luncheons? Remember, I sent you an email, we can probably distribute them with the Meals on Wheels, the people who
Okay.
are unable to come out.
Let me just send that email real quick.
The CAT said they would deliver them, but they cannot give the personal information, and who receives the Meals on Wheels, but they'd be happy to deliver the test kits with their meals, so they will have it.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion, Kelly. I'll do that.
I'm on the fence about that. I'm not quite sure why.
About delivering it with the meal.
Yeah, I
doesn't-
don't know. Can we do these tests, hold on to this money for the test kits until like next fall flu season? Or something like that, because
Yeah,
people are getting-
we didn't disperse any funding, so we still have the funding,
So maybe because people are getting them in the mail now, and you can order again, you can do it twice now.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Right,
sure.
it's needed. Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, but well, I think you know this. The town of Needham has a very low percentage of people who have COVID. We have like 99% of the people who are eligible to be vaccinated are vaccinated. So I don't
That's
know
great.
how that.
Needham has always had a high percentage of vaccination. So that's really good to hear. But yeah, to your point, Babs, it's kind of lost the urgency.
Yeah,
But the Meals on Wheels it's really good, Kelly. I'm sorry I didn't jump on that before. So I just sent it to Tim, and hopefully there's another avenue to distribute them.
It's just the
So-
easiest way. They're going there, you know what I mean? It's,
Yep. No, that was perfect.
yeah, they just can't hand you the list. They will do it for you, that's all. It's a HIPAA thing.
Okay, I just wanted to also provide an update on, well, now Carol's position posting. I requested it from the town managers that they post the position as available. However, per your request, I had asked that it was advertised as a position of secretary. And I was told that we can't do it that way. Because we have the position of secretary, or the positions within the Commission on Disabilities are voted on by the members. So we wouldn't be able to advertise for a secretary. We'll be able to advertise for a member and then vote on that member becoming the secretary for the.
Well, Alexa had expressed an interest in trying out the role also, so
Yep.
Yeah,
we don't want to, and Karen, we haven't had a chance to even let her know about it. I mean, I think hopefully she's read the minutes, but we may have a couple candidates already on the commission.
yeah. So I
I
just
think it
wanted
makes
to,
sense to just to advertise for a new member and then take it from there.
right. So
Well,
I just,
well, I think, I mean, when I became a new member, I was, after I interviewed, they said, would you be willing to be the secretary? And I said, yes. So it was sort of,
yeah, so we did not advertise your
Right.
position as a secretary, right? It
No.
was a member.
it
Yeah.
was a member. And then as part of the interviewing process, they
Okay.
asked and I said, sure. So.
Yeah, I just wanted to give that up in case, people
Mhm.
didn't see people saw the posting and noted that it didn't specifically say secretary.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to either. Yeah.
And then lastly, I was asked to again ask the commission if the town has an initiative for diversity, equality, and inclusion, and it's a big initiative and it's very important. And they're trying to get feedback from all commissions, from all members of staff or the schools and the public to come up with some initiatives that the town can set as goals to promote diversity and inclusion. And so, of course, I wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of that. And if there's something that we can think collectively, as far as ideas, maybe there's some improvements that can be made, like enabling the chat feature in our Zoom links, or purchasing more equipment. Or I know that, in the past they have had, like, for example, like the election booths that were accessible, but then no one used them. So some of these things may come from the self-evaluation plan that the health department is working on. But if there's anything that we can collectively suggest, or an initiative that we want to sort of take on and have the town partner with us on, I think that's something they're looking for. They're looking for ideas and suggestions and goals that they can incorporate into the diversity and inclusion initiative that the town is undertaking.
There's one thing that I would like to see in Needham before I go, is some kind of buddy system for the disabled. If like someone like my son, to find someone who would be interested in taking him to a movie, well, not during COVID, but or bowling, or some kind of buddy thing, or
Like
there's an elderly person who would like someone to like play cards with, or I know there's the senior center, but this would be like someone who might be able to visit the home.
Like it's like the idea of big brother, big sister, something like that. People, volunteers will sign up. Yeah. But like, see, that's not something that like the town would necessarily put together. It will be more like a volunteer organization, right? Or will that be something that the town sponsors?
It would be something that they could facilitate, I remember when the high school wanted to have the best buddies, and it was just too expensive for them to take that on. There was a high cost, associated with the program.
And what were the costs? What was cost prohibited about it?
It was like thousands of dollars to join the organization.
Oh.
Sorry, I apologize for my dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, so so you're saying it was thousands of dollars to join the Best Bodies organization?
would just be more like I said, facilitating. I know that Babson College at one point had started something. I don't know if they still do.
Okay. All right, well, I'll definitely put that down as an idea. Does anyone else have any other suggestions?
To add to that, maybe we could be sponsoring some kind of program, you know, a one night or one day event to promote that.
Like a training?
Or an education or theater, some kind of theater program. We used to do something like that before. I mean, in the schools.
Yeah,
Creative arts used to, you know, have a theater troupe come to educate. Maybe something like that to promote.
that's not a
budding-
bad idea. I wish I knew about any of those, those performers that,
We did one time sponsor somebody, didn't we? A couple of years ago?
We
Yeah.
did. Yep. It was a woman who gave a talk at the library, right? It was
oh,
from
yes.
it was from the
So
Needham Diversity Initiative. They submitted a request for us, a grant request to sponsor it. I have in a moment. I cannot remember her name. I want to say
Oh,
Lillian.
welcome to
I
my
know
world.
she was
Yeah.
a young woman.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, I think it was Lillian. She
and
was.
big-
Yeah, Lillian,
It would be a
Yeah.
good way for the town to educate the community.
Mhm. Yep,
I
and she
mean,
was
we
very
could do something
compelling.
like that as opposed to an ongoing program.
Mhm.
we might also want to contact the creative arts, if they even exist still at the schools, and see if they're aware of groups that are focusing on disability. Because back in the day, there were, this is many, many years ago, when Babs and I were doing creative arts in the schools.
That was before we got gray hair.
Yeah, gosh, we're talking 20 years ago, or more.
Or
More.
more, yeah. So, okay, that's a good idea. If anyone knows already of some sort of, performance or theater group or something like that that does this, and you can give me a name, I can take it from there. If not, I'm gonna do some Google searches. try to come-
Jeannie, would Suzanne Savitz know anybody? She used to be up on that stuff.
Well,
Suzanne
she's been out
Savitz.
of it as long as we have, though. I don't know.
Okay.
I might contact the Dance
you-
Alliance in Cambridge and see if they have any
Do you know-
performance.
At your child's school, do they have a creative arts program where they're bringing in performers? I guess everything's different now under COVID, so maybe
Yeah.
that's all gone by the wayside.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm sure there are some really wonderful groups out there. We just have to find them.
I'll look
Yep.
into it too.
Some research too.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
do
there's
some, I'll do
some
some
Google
research
searches.
too.
We'll do some Google searches, but that's a fantastic idea. I
Okay.
think if we can promote, if we can ask the town to fund some of that, those performances for like a number of schools or maybe the public, I think that's a good way to promote, disability abilities rather. So,
Yeah.
okay, well, thank you
Okay.
guys for that. If you
And-
have any other suggestions, you can always email me.
Okay.
Yes,
I
Babs.
just, thank you. Jessie just texted me back. She's gonna check with Aisha tomorrow, but she thinks it should be fine, but she
Yeah.
wants to confirm the
Yeah,
idea.
no
She wants to-
problem.
Okay,
Great.
That's awesome, Babs. Thank you.
okay.
Okay, next for our updates, and Julie is not with us, and I have not received any word from her or anyone else in the schools that they have a grant ready for us, so I guess it hasn't come together yet, so we'll hope.
No, yeah.
Have you heard anything,
No, I
Tatiana?
was gonna say, she did say that she was going to submit for something, but she didn't come to last month's meeting either. I was hoping she would come to this one. So maybe I'll follow up with her via email just to make sure that she's still on track for that.
She was here last month. She did come and she gave a brief report. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm forgetting.
And
But
she had
it was a
said
meeting
that
before she
thought
missed. She's missed a
she
couple.
was-
Yep.
She was encouraging her colleagues to submit a request.
Yep.
Okay.
Under handicap parking, I had listed what we talked last month about Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
I don't know if there was any follow-up with that, Debbie?
I wrote a letter
You did.
Thank you.
Excellent. Yep.
and so after, yeah, and I just waiting to hear from them.
She's waiting to hear from them.
Yeah.
I get something.
Felix,
Oh,
have you
here.
noticed the same violators when you go there?
So it really depends upon time of day.
Mhm.
But it's been better, but I don't know if anyone's actually spoken with them or not.
I have.
So then,
All
yes,
right,
it actually
Kelly.
has
Yeah.
been better.
Yeah.
Thank
there
you, Kelly.
go.
Yeah,
So
so
that would
now,
explain why it's been better.
yeah, so now that I'm aware of it, I drive by it several times a day, and I'm always doing a quick left or a quick right to see if someone's in that area of the designated area. And I have spoken to 4 violators, given them warnings, verbal warnings. And there's a sign there. There's a metal stand sign that was shoved in the corner by the trash can. I literally
Oh.
picked it up and stuck it right in front of the parking area. So you can actually see it. And I think that helped. And so I went in and I spoke to them. I said, this needs to stay here, the sign, not behind the trash barrel, So I think that helped. So we'll
Good.
see how it goes, okay?
Hey,
Go, Officer Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Kelly.
look-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think the sign was moved, for snow plow and all that, and was just
probably.
never replaced in the proper position. So I just picked it up, moved it myself.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great.
You and Debbie are like superheroes.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
Anything else under parking?
that's it.
Okay,
That's it.
how about diversity initiative? Carol?
Well, there's nothing new on the website, but I am on the email list, and there is a new book club discussion. So it looks like they've created this new group called Needham Connects, which was formerly the Diversity and Discussion Book Club. So they've picked a new book, which is called On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, by Ocean Vuong. And it's about, it's a letter from a son to a mother who can't read. So that is the updated information I could find, and that's in 2 weeks. So I can include that information in the minutes if anybody wants to
Great.
participate.
Thank you.
And local emergency planning committee? You were not able to attend the meeting, is that right?
That's right, I was traveling.
Yeah, and I did send along the minutes to anyone. I don't know if anyone had any comments based on what they read in the minutes. So we'll just stay in touch with them, either with Alexa attending or via the minutes that they send out.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have a report from Babs, hot off the presses. She met today with a fellow from Metro West about the Perry Playground. Do you want to take it from there, Babs?
Yeah. Yes, it was very last minute. David Carrera he's an advocacy director from the Metro West Center for Independent Living, and also a Mark Dempsey. He's the access compliance inspector from the Framingham Parks and Recreation. And boy, do they know their stuff. So I don't know, can I show you a picture from my phone? Can I do it that way? Would you be able to see?
Try it, see if that
Yeah.
works.
Okay. So just to tell you what I was concerned with, they were not, but they found all these other issues. So
Oh,
let's see if I can, wait a minute. You don't want to see my lasagna. Hold on.
yeah. Because you were concerned with the visual cues and they thought that was okay, right? On the markings. So.
Yeah. All right. So this is so Perry Park is located between on the corner of Beaufort and Arden Ave, and there's a crosswalk that goes on Beaufort to Sargent Street, and Okay, let's see if that helps. What I'm trying to show you here is, and I didn't do a very good job taking the picture, is it's not straight away the curb cut. It kind of goes to an angle and it's supposed to be straight. And that's a code violation. And then the other issue is,
And that's a crosswalk though?
yes. And the other issue is this box. You see it? That you press the button and it tells you when to cross or it stops the cars. So it's right at my shoulder and it's jutting out, and that's a code violation because it juts out.
And where is that located?
It's on Arden Street. Do you want me to spell it?
But is at these playgrounds, at these art playgrounds?
Yeah, these are it's
It's
called
the entrance
Perry
to the
Park.
Perry Park Playground.
And entrance to Perry Park Playground, okay.
Oh, look at, and see, you can see, wait a minute. Where is it? Yeah, you see, that's, like, it's, I don't know if you can see it, it says Sergeant Street. No,
Yeah.
maybe not.
Okay.
So, okay, so that was thing number one. Okay, thing number two is, here's a picture of a very nice picnic table.
Yeah.
So 5% of the table is supposed to be accessible. And what that means is that one of the benches has to be removed so that somebody in a wheelchair can access to sitting at the table.
Okay, and there were no tables that you could, that a person with a wheelchair could sit at?
Correct.
Okay. And that's the same, are we still talking about Perry Park Playground?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Kelly, do you want to see a picture of a dog off a leash? Just
Yeah, I know that's an issue.
Tatiana,
So Perry Park is a tot lot. It's not, it's for small children. I think it's like age 8 and under. So it's
Yeah.
not like a playground like, you know, the bigger ones. It's a tot lot.
So I yelled at her, and the two guys went, "Woo." So I did not make a very good impression.
Tatiana, I just want to say that Babs wrote up a report based on,
Okay.
so she can send it to you, so you don't have to
That
scramble.
would be
Right.
great, 'cause I'm like writing
Yeah.
down.
Right. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Okay. So this I don't know if you can see, this is one of the playground structures, and
Yeah.
this is wood. This is wood chips.
Right.
And they say that's not acceptable ground cover to use. They now recommend wood fiber.
Wood fiber.
And then another issue is I did not take a picture of this, but I'm just going to tell you. Each structure should have a landing around it that is hard packed, like rubber or something, so that people can go from the wood chip onto this hard packed area and make it easier to climb up onto the structure.
Mm-hmm.
The sandbox should have one side open for easier access. And then the other thing, they said there was no pathway. We've heard this before. I think it was from Karen, right? There's no pathway from the street to go to the playground structure. There should be a pathway, and it should be hard, and it should be paved or hard packed.
We
And-
heard that about Green Street Playground.
Yeah, I sent you a list.
That's right, Kelly.
A few months ago, of which
Yes.
I went to every playground, who had an entranceway, who didn't and stuff, so you should have that list. But
Yeah.
I think the town of Needham has a lot of violations.
Yeah, so Jeannie, so I reported to Jeannie, and then she goes, "Are we in violation?" And I said, "I didn't ask." So then I called back, and we are in violation. So just to tell you.
Yeah.
So even
If I-
things like the wood chip versus wood fiber, that's not a suggestion, that's a requirement.
I believe so. Well, I think it is okay, but it's not being used properly. It's supposed to be like 8 inches deep, and it's supposed to be packed really hard. the way it is now, it isn't in violation because if you were to use a wheelchair, the wood chip would get caught in the mechanism and it would get stuck. Okay, thank you very much.
Babs, in your report, does it include the people that you met with? Because I missed that at the
Ye-
beginning.
Yes,
No, see?
Okay,
Okay.
includes who you met with and from where. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
so all
he using all his information from the Architectural Access Board 521 CMR 19. And I looked it up and I don't know, it didn't really, I didn't find it helpful. So
So we're talking about quite a few violations that add up to quite a bit of money. The question is, will the town do anything about it?
I'm going to put it forth, and
Yeah,
obviously nothing is super easy when it comes to town funding, but we should at least start planting the seed. I know that, and I know I've been saying this for years, but there is a capital project on playground upgrades, and a lot of that is focused on accessibility. I just don't know where we are as far as implementation and deployment, but as a first step, I can contact the Director of Parks and Recreation and present this and figure out this is something that they are already aware and that fits into their plan for upgrades, and if not, to perhaps make it a part of it.
yeah. Well, you might want to tell them that or emphasize that it's something that now Metro West is aware of. And
It's on the
they
record.
They could take action if they wanted, now that it's been brought to their attention. I don't think he's going to go out of his way to make a big deal about it, but they are aware of these violations. And there must be similar violations at our other playgrounds.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like I know, like the playground, for example, is Anita Williams, is state of the art. It's completely accessible. It's wood fiber. It has all of the features that would be desirable. But that's when the Newman one as well. But that was within a school. I don't know that the public playgrounds have been given the same attention. So I can certainly bring it up and report back on what the feedback is.
Yeah, I think the wood fiber is very expensive, isn't it?
Yep, but this is good. Thank you, Babs.
you're welcome.
Is there any new business or anything else anyone wants to say about playgrounds before we move on? Okay. Any new business? So our next meeting, well, our next full meeting is the 19th. We may have an orientation before that, and we'll just be in touch with everyone about that as it kind of pulls together.
Mhm.
I did want to mention one more thing, Jeannie, before we go. The remote boards and commissions meeting option has been extended through July 15 of this year.
Awesome. Yay. Awesome.
It was
Good.
it was set to expire in April, the end of April, but it's been extended to July 15. So we can continue to meet remotely.
Yeah, good.
Okay,
Uh,
I have one question to the
Oh, Debbie.
board. Oh,
there's
sorry.
one other thing we should
Debbie's,
bring up.
she's saying there's
and
more.
the building when new Beatrix located on Rosemary Street. That building, like, is 245 Rosemary.
245 Rosemary.
Yeah, they are in incredible violations too. And I'll put it more. appropriate the next time we meet.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
So was that the same building Debbie addressed a while back?
Yes.
Yes, so it's 145 Rosemary Park?
Two,
Uh,
240,
245, I think she said.
45.
245
Okay.
Rosemary.
Okay. Thank
I
you,
just have a-
everyone.
I just have a question.
Yes,
Does anyone know where you can find out where there are accessible apartments in Needham? Like someone in a wheelchair? Is there any kind of list of these apartments?
hmm,
Had no idea.
Don't they all have to be accessible now?
Do they?
I think you find Rosemary Ridge accessible. Those are condos. They're
Yeah,
not,
my mom lives there, so yeah, I know about that one.
that's on the first floor. Actually, that's, I think, accessible.
Yeah,
You can
But
enter
that's-
at ground
Those are
level.
condos?
but that's
Those
an
are
apartment.
interesting question. It seems like that would be very valuable information for there to be a resource where you can find out
Yes,
where they
yes.
are.
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, definitely.
So I guess I can call around, to the different apartment complexes that we have now. And find
I'll
out
look-
if there are.
Tatiana, is that something you can suggest to the town as what you were talking about earlier, things that need attention?
But how would that work? Like, these will be somehow doing it. Well, we can start with the building department and see if they have a listing of residential. This is for privately owned residential housing, right? So it
Housing,
wouldn't be
yeah.
under the housing authority. It would be just,
No,
okay. All right,
Yeah.
let me see. I can start with the building department and see where we go.
I think Moderna must have some accessible apartments, don't you think? On,
I know that
Greenfield?
they said that they would accommodate someone who needed accessibility, that they would lower the sink and that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
So I know Charles River Landing definitely has accessible apartments, as does the one across the street from it.
Kendrick.
The Kendrick, they definitely have accessible apartments. Do we know how many total apartments there were at Moderna? Because there is a threshold. I think it's if you have more than 25 units, you have to have accessible units in there.
yeah.
So they likely do. I know
Yeah,
there are some condos at Rosemary Ridge that are accessible as well, that people rent. But those are on the more expensive side.
I think they found out. This is my supervisor's brother broke his back and he's in a
Ooh.
wheelchair now. So that's why I'm asking this question for him.
hmm,
And I remember requests went in for Charles River Court for us. You had to take 3 or 4 steps up on the outside to get in. And they were requesting some special device like a ramp, and they wouldn't do it. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. That was different though. Wasn't that a condo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
That's all I know.
All right, well, I'll give them a call, the buildings.
Okay.
okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Okay, have a
you.
good night.
Bye-bye.
All right,
Good
Bye-bye.
meeting.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Night, everyone.
Bye, Debbie. Yeah.
Bye-bye.